Even during Choose OK, there was a shutdown. And even though Choose OK is over for us, the instructor told me today that once this shutdown ends, the SEC will announce their crypto project. And that's where tokenization comes into play. Tokenization. So the question is how far the U.S. will go in the first stage of implementing tokenization. Wall Street in the U.S. sees this tokenization as a massive new frontier. And I'll try to expand finance tremendously once again. Finance is an industry closely related to dominance. So, since finance is linked to dominance, there are issues of permission, but I wish our country would respond more sensitively to the financial industry, approaching it with the concept of protecting the sector. In a way, monetary sovereignty is also a form of massive sectoral protection. But when it comes to the concept of sectoral protection, the intellectual community or the general public might think it's pretty much the same everywhere. But the problem is it's a matter of how sensitive our knowledgeable society is. But it's well known that people here don't really study books. At least that's how the intellectual climate seems to me. That's why, from a self-protection standpoint, there is a very high possibility they will approach it this way. A prime example of this is, since I can't afford to be targeted by the current government regarding the things the current government does, I'm too cowardly, so I never criticize power while it's still in office. But while I was having dinner with my grad students, I realized that all my efforts were in vain, because they didn't feel that way at all. They don't see me as someone who just attacks everyone, but rather someone who goes out of his way to avoid attacking those currently in power. Why is that? Why have I become a person who just attacks anyone? I really do try. I never attack those currently in power. In that sense, I am the epitome of a cowardly intellectual, even though they show it. Our graduate students, just for a moment, was that so? I don't think so. Yes. Not really like that. The soft-spoken but sharp type. Or my wife says the soft-spoken but sharp type. She's saying I'm a soft-spoken but sharp person, meaning I speak gently. But there's a this time again. Vice Minister Lee Sang-kyung, the soft-spoken but sharp type. They were all just acting like that. So Vice Minister Lee Sang-kyung thought that the soft-spoken but sharp person shared similar thoughts with him. Seems to have gone a bit overboard. And so, a crisis occurred. And we know how the booing men feel. They are extremely dissatisfied with the current government's real estate policies.